What's up, everybody? Welcome back to iWin Entertainment. We are here, level 8, with Sean. Sean, what's up? How you feeling?
Uh, Happy to be in single digits. That's for sure. This is the second time I've ever been to single digits in a game, so kind of happy, excited.
Feeling accomplished?
Very much so. The very first time I played a game, I made it to Final 7, and every other time after that, I've been second or third out. So the fact that I've made it to Final 9, I feel very accomplished.
All right. How are you feeling about your position right now? Where you're 8 levels in simulation, you competed in CPU earlier. How are you feeling?
Uh, I feel like I could have done better, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I did. Not sure if I want the blood on my hands or if I want to give it up to someone else yet. So I figured if I just perform decently enough, maybe one of the two of them did terrible enough where I could win. So who knows?
If you were CPU, what would be your intention for this week?
Oh, easily put up Hannah and Romeo because I have to split up Hannah from Romeo. That would be my intention.
And why is that?
Well, I've already concluded that Hannah doesn't want anything to do with me. She doesn't want to work with me in any way, shape, or form, strictly solely based on the fact that I'm married. So, and if my wife is in the game and that's enough for her to not want to talk to me, if there's someone in this game who doesn't want to talk to me, they got to go. So that's how that goes.
Sorry. So it's more based off of Hannah not talking to you and not Romeo and Hannah like working together at all from your perspective?
So from my perspective, Hannah, Romeo, and Tasha have been a threesome this whole time. We got rid of Tasha. We have to separate Romeo from Hannah. So that way Romeo doesn't have another option to fall back on. So that way he only has to rely on me for information or to see me as a way to get to the end. So that means I have to separate Hannah. That means she has to go.
So from your perspective, it was a trio, now it's a duo. You want to break up the duo. How concerned are you that that the same perspective could be adopted to you and Jackie from the other players, especially if y'all just break up a duo in Hannah and Romeo? Well, who's to say that same narrative won't be pushed right onto you and Jackie? Is that a concern at all, or you have a plan to mitigate that?
So here's the thing. To be considered a duo in the game, you have to be looking out for that person. You had to have benefited them or helped them in some way, shape, or the game. And you have to have shown to cover for them, like outwardly in the game. I have done none of that with Jackie. And it's funny that the only reason we're considered a duo is because our last name is the same. We haven't been on the same alliances. We haven't been on the same page when it comes to level selections most of the time. So it's like our games are not intertwined together. The only thing we have is the same address. So, but when you look at Tasha, Hannah, and Romeo, they all were voting the same. They were all picking the same things. They were all, they had the same talking points. Jackie and I don't have the same talking points because we're not playing the same game. So when they consider us a duo, it seems like they don't understand how duos work, except for the fact that we're married. But I'm like, I've seen other duos who were voting the same way, who had the same talking points when you pulled them to the side. Papa and Billy were a duo. Tasha and Romeo were a duo. And well, Tasha, Romeo, and Hannah were a triple, so a trio. So it's like, I don't think it's fair for me to be considered in a duo when I haven't been acting as if I'm in a duo.
How do you combat that perception? Because, whether it's true or not, perception is reality to the perceiver.
You okay?
Right? Uh-oh. Make sure.
Nah. Yeah, little one, open the door. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so whether it's like true or not that y'all are actually like working together as you perceive other duos, whether that's true or not, it's the perception of the perceiver that is their reality. So is there
Mhm.
anything that you can do from here on out to change that perception, right?
At this point, the only thing that's going to get people to believe me is if I win a CPU and I put Jackie up. And honestly, I don't want to do something that's just going to appease the house. I'm going to do something good for my game. And at this point, it makes 0 sense for me to put Jackie up on the block. Like, she's not a threat to me. Like, not right now, not at 9. If we were to get a 7 or 6, possibly, then I might be able to take a shot at her and put her up on the block. But right now at 9, no, that doesn't make sense.
So yeah, you're not willing to change the perceptions of the players, lose an ally at this point, whether you guys are on the same page and have the same intention, because you can get rid of Jackie and then you could see yourself out the door next week. You know?
Very true. And my fear is if one of us goes, the very next week, the next person will go. And that doesn't sit well with me. So if my goal is to have us together up until maybe final 6 or 5. Jackie and I actually were on a conversation with Garrett the other day, and this is what I find slightly, I don't want to say disturbing. It's just when you're married and you're trying to have conversations with single people and they don't have that same mentality, it's hard for them to believe when you think certain ways. So when we're like, hey, if it were, or what was said was Garrett said he would never go to a final 3 with me and Jackie. And we're like, but why not? That guarantees you get to the end. And he was like, what are you talking about? And we both were like, if it were the final 3 with me, Jackie, and Garrett, I'm sending Jackie home if possible. Because I don't think I could beat her at the end. And if anything, it's a baller move to send home your actual partner, your wife, the one who you can find in the most.
And essentially, like, I mean, I don't see y'all being bitter, correct me if I'm wrong, about voting each other off in the final 3, essentially giving you a jury vote.
And it's like, if one of us wins, we both win. And when we've said that to people, they like laugh and they're like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm like, no, we're dead serious. I have been watching reality game shows since 2000. Like, I am a true student of this game. I've watched multiple different variations and formats of games. I'm like, so if I see myself playing in a blood versus water or anything with a relative, call me Sierra from Survivor because I'm gonna vote my mama off. Yes, in a heartbeat. Now, I'm not going to blindside you, but I'm gonna let you know that I'm gonna go with the house, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's the fact that we've tried to tell people like, hey, we're game players, we're willing to vote people out, but I'm refused to have an alliance member tell me I should vote her out. Like, if it's from the other side of the house, the other side of the house, meaning people who will not align their vote with me. That's what I mean by other side of the house. If they want to put Jackie up, that's fine. But it's a little sus when I have somebody who's supposed to be aligned with me constantly bringing me like, hey, maybe you should get rid of Jackie. Maybe you and Jackie should go up. Maybe it's like, I don't have a problem with her going home. I just don't want to put her up right now. So can we get that out of y'all heads? Like, I'm not willing to right now doesn't mean I'm never willing to. And it's like, it doesn't make sense to take a shot at her right now. She hasn't done shit this whole game. So why get rid of her? She hasn't won anything. She hasn't been the main target for anyone. But then the second she gets up on the block, she would have gone home. So it's like, y'all just want to separate us because you think we're a duo. I was like, it's just unfortunate that people have gone to that conclusion without even actually speaking to us about our gameplay. So that's all I got on that.
All right. So what's your plan from here on out? Like, let's just say perfect world. Like, what's the ideal at least couple of quests, challenges, rounds look like?
I guess first things first is getting Hannah out. I think by any means necessary, she has to go. Like, because she's not willing to work with me. Billy, he's not really trying to work with me, so he can go. And then I'm not sure if I should focus on getting Romeo out before Garrett or getting him out after Garrett. So for me, a perfect final five would be myself, Benny, Sharonica, Romeo, and Papa. Because I feel like keeping Papa around until 6 or 5 keeps him as a shield for me. Because as long as Papa in, he'll definitely be a bigger target than I am. So if Papa is the last one of the people I quote unquote trust or is my main target to get out, and then it's myself, Sharonica, Benny, and either Garrett or like I said, Garrett or Papa, I'm good. That's all I want to get to from there. And then from there, I'll just play my heart out.
Okay. Let me think. I thought I had one more question on my head, but I can't think of it. Fuck. Oh, okay. It was about last round. So
Okay.
how much do you feel like you influenced the way level 7 happened, essentially?
A lot. I feel level 7 was this last round, right?
Yeah, level 7 was, I think, Power Rangers were made. Hannah was put up with the power. She won the corruptor. Pop and Tasha remained on the block, and then you had the survival chain that put them there. How much do you think you influenced the narrative of that level?
0.
Really? You don't think you influenced it?
Nah.
Really?
Really?
Why? So you don't think that you had a hand in making sure Papa had the numbers to stay?
I feel like Papa did that on his own, honestly. And I say he did that on his own because he manipulated the fuck out of us. And it's okay. He played his game and it's okay. So
all right. So if you think Papa manipulated that situation at 10 people left, you want to take him to 6 or 5, and you don't think that he's capable of doing that exact same thing?
So my plan, or what I can do, is if we get down to smaller numbers, where it's smaller numbers of people who trust me as opposed to Papa, if I let certain
you're saying you want to sort of bring him into a dead end, essentially.
Exactly. If he doesn't have anywhere else to run and he's played quote unquote all of his tricks up his sleeve, I can then go to everybody and be like, look, Papa's done A, B, C, D, and E. Let's get him out now. He has a resume. He has a nice long resume. He thinks he's safe. Let's get him out now. He has done the majority of powers this game. He has been the main one who's been like puppeteering this shit behind the scenes. And he thinks that he's getting away with it. And I'm going to continue to let him think he's getting away with it. And I'm just keeping score and keeping track of everything he does behind the scenes. And then when I have my little resume book and my little green book of everything he's done, and then I go to certain people, I'm like, he's done this, he's done that, he's did this, he did that. Why are we keeping him? And then they're going to be like, you're right. Now is the time to get rid of him. Cool. Let's get rid of him. And then I feel like he'll go. It'll be a lot easier to rally the troops. But right now, when he has space to maneuver and wiggle and other people he can manipulate to doing stuff,
you want to make sure he's in your corner. Yeah,
exactly.
So what happened to Tasha doesn't happen to you, type of thing. I'm smelling what you're putting down.
And people think that I'm very assertive and I'm very outspoken, and it's just like I am on certain things, but I also know how to play it smooth and play it low key, and I can do that too. So I don't think blowing his game up right now is going to benefit mine. Doesn't make sense. So I'd rather come up to him, when we're down in numbers 7, 6, 5, and just like, hey, just so you know, I peep game on everything you did. I made sure I didn't blow it up to everybody else, but you played a good game and you got to go now. Like, you played a good game, but that's why you got to go. Now, I respected you as a player, respected you as a man, told you straight up. I tried to work with you, and I told you, let's get as far as we can. And then when we get as far as we can, the gloves will come off. And I meant that. The gloves will come off.
I'm pumped to see where this game goes for you, Sean.
As am I.
I'm out of questions for now. But did you have anything else you wanted to mention? Maybe I'll think of something.
Nah, not for them. Maybe for you, but not for them.